Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I am coming to you live today from my craft studio in Bancroft, Ontario. So, welcome to lunch break. This is Craft Spot. We're going to embark on a little bit of a crafting adventure and see where it takes us. Hopefully, to some fun cards today. We are going to play with a set that is relatively new to me. It's been out for a little bit, but I just got it recently. It's called Football Fan, and it is awesome if you are looking for some of those really hard to find cards for, maybe that teenage guy, doesn't want flowers, not really into fancy cards, but he plays football at school, or he likes to watch football, or has friends that play football, or whatever. Anyway, it's it's a football set, as you will see in just a moment. Okay, not a whole lot to share with you today, other than the big announcement of the designer series paper and cardstock sale that is on right now. Sorry, hubby's doing some reno work. I'm thinking I should maybe just close the door. So hang tight with me for just a moment. I'm going to take care of that. Pull this closed a little bit. I'll pull this closed. There. We should be good. Hopefully, hopefully not too much of that reno noise creeps in. Zoom can be really good about filtering out stuff that you don't want there, but anyway, we're all good now. Okay, yes, designer series paper and cardstock on sale. I believe it's 15% off. It's a sale. Hello. It's going to save you money. It's not on all designer series paper or all cardstock, but it's on lots. So check it out. When you go to my online store, you will see the shop button. And if you look at the drop down in there, there's a category called deals. And in there, you will find the designer series paper and cardstock sale. And if you click on that, then you'll only see the ones that are on sale. So super easy to see what is on sale. And then you can just add a whole bunch of those to your cart, stock up, save, get ready for crafting through the fall and winter or whatever you like. Anyway, check it out. It's a good time to do a little bit of stocking up. Okay. Let's head down to uh what are we doing here? We are doing this. Okay. I think we're doing this. Yes, there we are. I also have not refreshed this yet, so I should do that and see what I can see on here. At least hopefully see your comments and that sort of thing. So if you are joining me or if you are here with me, do say hello. Let me know and we will get started on some crafting. So this is the stamp set that we're going to play with today, called Football Fan, as I mentioned. So we've got our football player, we've got a helmet, the football, number one, and then some great sentiments that go with the theme from your number one fan. You're such a great sport. And then just, time to celebrate and happy birthday. Just totally generic sentiments that could be used and not necessarily imply football. So you could use these on other cards with different stamp sets as well. So some good versatility going on there. Okay, so here's where the adventure begins. I thought that I would do um, some shading. This is, it's a little bit of a line image. Well, it is a line image because it's not solid filled in. You could add color to this with your blends or your watercolor pencils or whatever, or you could just leave it as a line image, entirely up to you. But I was thinking it would be kind of cool to create a mask and uh, put your team colors in the back of this. So I'm actually going to bring this in. Hopefully, yes, I think this will fit because I'm going to take things down just to hold them in place. So I am just using washi tape. You can use painter's tape or anything. You just don't want it to be super sticky because you don't want to destroy the edge of your cardstock as you pull that up later. And or you could cut your paper larger than you need it, but I neglected to do that. So, and then I'm going to come in. So this is my mask. So here's where the adventure begins because this is the stylish shape. It is the largest square, and I don't know. Can you see there? It's stitched on the outside. Not sure if my blending brushes are going to go through that and put some little speckles around my my square, but we're going to find out, aren't we? So I want this closer to the top. So I'm going to come in right here and I'm going to try and hide this so that I can see. I think I didn't quite cut this straight, but you know what? I am just because this is something that I think you would really notice. I'm going to pull out my ruler and see. We are just under 2. And here we are. So we just need a tiny little shift. Now we are closer to 7/8 there. And what are we over here? Just a tiny, the tiniest little tilt. So this you probably wouldn't notice, but I'm just gonna play with that a little bit more. And once we get this set up, I'm gonna tape it down so then we'll be good. Yeah, I think we are good there. Hold that because of course I did not tear off another piece of tape for this, but okay. And I'm going, now this one I don't care as much about my tape destroying this or tearing at it a little bit. It's just a mask. I could use it on something later, but it's going to have ink on its edges as well because that's how you use the mask, right? You go past this. Okay, so hopefully we're good to go. And I'm not really sure what my team is, but their colors are purple and yellow. There is a Barrie football team that is purple and yellow. Don't ask me their name because I'm not really certain, but we're gonna do this. So hello, Michelle, welcome. Just gonna do some blending here with a bit of a mask going on. So when you you definitely want to be starting off your card. So start on your mask, and I'm just going to come in light swirls here. And I'm letting it be a little bit more intense at the bottom and get a little bit lighter as we head to the top. I'm going to stop there for a moment. You can always add more, but it's really tough to take it away later. I'm going to come in. This is Daffodil Delight. So that first one was Gorgeous Grape. I don't know whether I mentioned that or not, but it was. Okay, so I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to come around here. Start this. And I am going over the Gorgeous Grape a little bit because I want it to blend and transition very smoothly. I don't want it to look like a line where, the the yellow stops and the purple starts. So it's just kind of all blended. What do you think? Enough color? It's really quick when you're just doing a little masked area, isn't it? Maybe just a tiny, tiny bit. See, this is where I get myself into trouble often. I will come in with a very light hand here and just purple it up a little bit. There we go. I think I like that. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Quit while you're ahead, right? Don't mess it up. And then the big reveal. Hopefully we like what we see. Take this off. And then you have a nice, almost centered. I was sort of so worried about getting it straight. But I wasn't certain whether I was going to make this a little smaller and add another layer of cardstock before my card base, and this may be helping that decision. So it's off center. You can trim it smaller, so it is off center to the point that I do see it, but it looks quite straight. So the stuff we were worried about turned out okay. The stuff that I had not really thought about, not as much. So what do we have here? We have about just a little bit more than a half inch. So what do we want to do here? This is 4 inches. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing here. I'm thinking out loud. Can you tell? So this is 2 3/4, and this is well, it's not quite 2 3/4, I guess, is it? Oh, it's yeah, it looks pretty much like two. So this is not quite the half, or it's a little bit more than the half inch. So if I put the same thing on there, where's this half inch? It's really hard to half inch plus a tick. How's that? Half inch plus a tick. Oh, so then we just need a real tiny trim off of here. So let's just, go for it, shall we? Guess it would be here, 1 tick. There we go. And let's just see how that looks. See, to me, it still looks a little bit wider. Might not be, might be my eyeballs. Enough, kind of plus a tick enough. Yeah, it is the smidgiest smidge wider still. So we're just gonna come in here with this and take, as I say, that smidgiest smidge off. There we go. That's a smidgiest smidge. Okay, you know what? I think that's gonna work. We will say it's going to work. And I don't know whether I want to make it shorter yet for sure. Here's my so I have a Daffodil Delight card base. And then I also cut a gorgeous grape layer. And because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with sizing, I've cut these large. So this is a very narrow border. And this is a little bit more of a standard border. It is wider than long. So I think I'm going to take a little bit off of the length just so it's similar. Similar border. That's it. I'm going to do that and see how we look here. And we are eyeballing this because just a tiny bit more. My trimmer doesn't accommodate the entire length here. I could have got out my proper trimmer, but we're using this guy. I think this will probably look good. So there's a pretty darned even handmade card, even enough. How's that? And so that's going to go on there, but we're not ready to do that yet. Let's come in. Now this is brand spanking new. I have not used this yet. I haven't even mounted it in my case yet, but we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna put this football player on here. See, I don't even know if he fits on this block. Maybe I'll use the big block just to give him lots of space. There we go. And let's make this. Should we make this a happy birthday card? Just because. So to do this, do you put your Clearmont stamps upside down on your grid paper, and then you can come in with your block, line your block up to your grid lines, and then it should being the the operative word, be straight. So I'm going to come in here with him on this edge, put this straight. I will have a much better chance of getting this line the way I want it. And I am going to use black ink for this. You could use Um, you could probably use Gorgeous Grape. I think because that's blending brush that your Gorgeous Grape full strength ink would be dark enough. You could use a dark gray, a dark blue, do whatever you like. But I'm just going to come in here with the black ink. Right about there. There we go. I think that'll work. Excellent. Okay, let me just get these blending brushes and set them aside. I'm just gonna give this guy a little bit of a clean off because I think we'll use him again on our next card. And then hopefully, this will fit. Ooh, we might need to go lower. So we're going to go below our football player there, just so we have lots of room for our sentiment. Gorgeous Grape. Come in right about here. That stamp. You could put this on pop it up on another piece of cardstock. And if you goof it, that's when you definitely pop it up on another piece of cardstock. But that one worked okay. So we'll just leave it there. Okay. So there's all the makings. Come in here. Now the only other question is, do we want a wide border there? Or do we want and the yellow is more narrow, or do we want this narrow? My thought was that this would be a narrow border and the yellow would be wider. So I think this could be a little tricky. But let's give it a go, shall we? Remember the adventure that I was promised? Yeah, well, here we go. Right into the adventure. So we're going to start small because, you know, as always, we can take more off. But once we cut it, we can't put it back on. So we'd be taking it off of here. And it's like, oh, we'll make this a little smaller, make this a little smaller, make this a little smaller. You know how that goes, right? Okay. So that's not bad. Just a little bit too long. Looks like it's not quite, something's not quite straight. What is not quite straight? Let's just see what this is quite straight. We need to take a tiny bit of this. Another look. Crafting by eyeball. See? Who says you need rulers and measurements and all those things? So that's a very narrow border. I think it will work. It's enough. Especially when you put it onto the Daffodil Delight, it kind of just frames it all. I think it'll work. We're gonna go with it. Some of the apparently we have leftover bits on here from previous crafting events. I don't usually look at the bottom of that. Perhaps I should. Especially after I do sticky stuff. Okay, let's come in here with this. And I am using liquid glue because this is a very narrow border. So you definitely want to have that little bit of wiggle room to get it right in place. Give that a bit of a press and then flip it over. Give it a nice rub on the back. Okay. Now this is not a lot of layers because we've got all our texture and our colors and things. So maybe we'll just pop this whole thing up, shall we? Okay, let's because this is so large, we're going to need a good number of dimensionals just to keep it popped. So for anyone that loves using lots of dimensionals, this is the way to go. Pop up larger pieces, then you can feel very justified in all your dimensionaling. I think that'll be okay. All right. Now, sorry, I just have to, we'll pause for a moment while I get all these backs off. Well, we're going to come in here and put this right down there. Problem with dimensionals, you can't just shift it a smidge, but there we go. I think we're good. Okay, smacking it down. Now, the intended purpose of this was for a guy, so I don't know that we should put any gems on it, but it's so hard to make a card with no gems at all. Like, really, we don't want anything too poofy, too shiny, anything like that. But look, we do have some metallic looking things. Maybe some of these faux bronze pentagons. These, I do believe, have been added to the last chance list on sale. So if you would like some of those, now is the time to grab it. They did actually, I mentioned the Cardstock and Designer Series paper sale, but they also refreshed the last chance list overnight last night. So there are some new bargains there. So you may want to check that out as well. I think this will be okay. Even though it's sort of a masculine kind of card. What do we think? I think it's okay. It's a card. It needs gems. It's not a card till it has gems. Connie's rule of gemming. Okay, so there's card number one. Alrighty, second card will be a little bit faster. We're not doing the brushing. So for this card, I was thinking I'd do black and white, and then I thought, well, maybe not black. So we're going with Secret C. Okay, so I have a thick, basic white card base here. And I have almost lost my bone folder. There we go. Oh my goodness, look at a million comments just popped up. Okay, so you left it something. That's awesome. Do you have those bronze ones? Yes, Michelle, amazing idea. That's the ones you mean. Yeah. So, see, yes, I totally agree. Great minds do think alike, especially when they're great paper crafters. And yeah, let's. I know you are a great paper crafter. We'll just consider ourselves both great paper crafters. Okay, so here we have a narrow border in the Secret C and a wider basic white border around there. I think that will work. We could go even a little smaller because I was thinking I was just going to do our football player again, and there's lots of room for him. I could add, maybe I'll add the helmet. I really like this helmet stamp. I think it's very cool. So maybe we'll add this. This is just basic white cardstock. If we do this and we sort of go, no, not so much, I know where to get more. Okay, so did I not get out my Secret C ink? Perhaps I did not. Oh, it's right here. It's all good. Nobody panic. Okay, Secret C ink. It's time to go with our Secret C cardstock on our football player. Oh, dropped it jam side down, but it's okay. And I'm going to come in here towards the top, towards the left. We could do this as a time to celebrate, couldn't we? I was thinking happy birthday again. We'll see. We'll see when I once I get the image stuff going. Uh, you were laughing at my occurring adding bling. Oh yeah. Yes, well, it's always a tough decision. I know MSH knows that his cards always have bling on. That's I think that was in our marriage vows. Yeah, okay, not really, but and all your cards shall have bling on them and you'll love them anyway. But I do keep it to the matte uh dots and stuff or the faux metal. I think they're awesome. Um, that sort of thing. So this really would have been better the other way, don't you think? What are the chances? Probably pretty slim. You ever done reverse stamping? Usually you would do your reverse image first. Um, should I give it a go? Just for fun? Sure, she says. Yeah, okay. So this is, just to give you more opportunities to laugh because, why the heck not, right? Okay, so I am going to come. So if you want to do reverse image stamping, here's how you do it. So I'm inking this up and I am stamping on my silicone mat. Okay. Stamp that right there. And then you come in with your paper. And now, see, here's where the adventure is because I'm not positive exactly where this is going to end up. But my cardstock's upside down, and so I'm rubbing it onto that inked image on the silicone mat. And then when I lift it off, ready for the surprise. Oh, kind of worked. It's a little lower than I would have liked. And it is a little lighter. It often is. Where are we going to put the sentiment? I was thinking we would do the sentiment with a border this time. Let's continue. See what we get. Because if you're gonna try something, you might as well see it through. We could perhaps do it up there. We could make this whole thing smaller, let this dangle over. Let me, oh, should wipe any excess ink off of here. Otherwise, you will end up with ink somewhere that you don't want it as you set your cardstock down there to glue or something. So we're clean now. Okay, I have basic white. I wasn't sure what size or what shape I was going to use, but let's go narrow because we don't have a lot of room. Or we could go kind of oval or cut or I'm going to do one like this with the happy birthday. I missed letters in the very middle of that, but I seem to have. Oh, I lifted it and then I dropped it down again. This might be blurry. It's okay. It's a little blurry. Not bad. Uh, okay, so let's just see what we're thinking. Or if we're thinking, it could still go down. Yeah, see, it's a little, this had been up higher. It could have worked. I could try it again on the back. Hello, Terry. Uh, Catching you live. But yes, we are still live. You are a little late. We have started, but that's okay. We were doing some reverse stamping only because I wanted this, but I'd already stamped my football player. So now I'm debating whether to change my sentiment because we could use the time to celebrate, and I think that might fit in here, especially if I uh, fussy cut it. So let's just smack this onto here and give it a stamp and we'll see where we go. So, this is the adventure part. I thought the adventure part was going to be the masking over there, but turns out it's all an adventure. Okay. So Terry, I don't know if you've done, I think you've done two reverse stamping. We just did that with the silicone mat. So, okay, let's cut this out. So I had a bit of a chuckle over whether we should put gems on a masculine card. And it's not just so much a masculine card. I was kind of thinking of this for like a teenage guy, and I'm sure they are less enthralled with gems even than some men. But yeah, we did it anyway because it's not a card till it has gems, right? So this is this is the adventure and the comedy edition. Okay, so we have this very tiny. We could just plunk that right in there by put it on dimensionals. Or I did bring this, could put a little secret C border on it. That might work too. Let's try that because, we are now in complete let's see what we think mode. Uh, it looks okay the way it is. Oh, the helmet? Or it doesn't look blurry on camera. Oh, the sentiment maybe this little guy. Oh yeah. Just ever so slightly. Not too bad. For a handmade card, it looked perfect. Guess I could have gone a little closer to the edge there, but whatever. Should probably give that a minute to dry just because I'm going to be handling it to cut it out. So let's glue this on because I think, oh, now see, here was the other dilemma. Did we want this whole thing a little bit smaller or do we have enough border there? That's probably enough border, right? Let's just glue this down because this is all cut and sized. So here's why I couldn't stamp on the back because somebody was touching ink and got a little messy. But I do have more basic white. Okay, put this down on here. So flip that over. This might actually look better with the sentiment up in that top area anyway. Yeah, that's my story. I think it would look too squished in down there. I think something has to be up here if we're going to put anything on here. But let's just put a little border on this. Good thing this is my quick card, eh? Yes. Well, it's a beautiful day for crafting. Now poke him in a little bit further. Secret C cardstock is part of the sale, and it is an awesome color. So if you don't have any of this or you're running at all low, check it out in the Designer Series paper and cardstock sale. Get some more. It's not the best cutting job, but it's a terrible cutting job. Oh, should have just left it alone. Because, see, here we go. Here's oh, we'll just trim a little bit off of here. Oh, it's too wide there. Oh, we'll just trim and, then we'll be back to just a white sentiment again. This is where I start to hate fussy cutting. So I tried to put a few little interest wiggles into my white fussy cutting, and now now I have to duplicate it. Yeah, there's the first problem. Okay, I think we should stop here, or we will be back to just a white sentiment. But look, does Does that work on our white card? Up. Ooh. Should be right at his elbow, maybe right. Does it look too close? Can we make that work? Or we could dangle it over the edge. Because that's where my eye kind of wants to see it, right about there. Then it's going to dangle. Any thoughts, smart ladies? The sentiment. Oh, you like the sentiment at the bottom, you think, Michelle? This one? Or, and this one doesn't have a border. I have now destroyed my border, but I could do a border. I could do, okay, look, I could do something like this is half an inch. Could do this at 3/4 of an inch. I could get more secret C cardstock too. Square that up a bit. And how long is this? This is now just about 2.5. So we could put this here, and then we could trim these edges, but let it dangle. Okay, here, we're gonna glue this on. We're gonna have, we're gonna give ourselves some options. And put this right behind the happy birthday part. It's a lot of glue there. So really being stingy. So I'm trying to center the happy birthday on the secret C. Get it even top to bottom. The press. And then I think if I cut this from the back, it might be easier to get, because I'm not distracted by other things. Hopefully similar. Get rid of that, put the lid on this. Okay, so here are some options. We could even put it right down there. That could be an interesting look. Can you see that okay? So there it is down at the bottom, which was kind of Michelle's vote. You're allowed to change your vote though, Michelle. Or we could do this tucked in there. Fingers. That's not bad too. You need a closer look for that. Here we are with this. Or originally I had sort of thought it should go. I don't know that I like that dangling over the edge though. I think it looks a little odd. So scrap that. So here's the choices. Either we go with this up here, middle, because I don't think I like it up here. That's a bit of an odd gap there. Not that we couldn't fill it with gems, but no, I don't think so. Or down here at the bottom. It's an interesting look at the bottom. So middle or bottom, there's the choices we're going to offer. And if you wise women would like to weigh in on what you think, and if you both think something different, then then I don't know what I'm going to do. But okay, in the meantime, I think I could adhere this because it's going to be centered. And attached. Okay. This onto here. I suppose I could put it up just a tiny bit if we're going to go with the bottom one. Be just ever so slightly above centered. because I think when we put this on, it will trick your eye to thinking it's all where it should be. I'm kind of getting inky. Okay. So I'm not seeing any other comments, but that doesn't mean you haven't chimed in because the last time I didn't see any comments for the longest time, and then all of a sudden there was 8 million comments that okay, not really 8 million, but there was a number of comments that popped up all of a sudden. But so I think we're going here because now we got to put a gem there. I got ink there. Somebody had inky fingers that they put there by accident. Okay. And we will pop this guy up on dimensionals. We want to be kind of centered. Centered? Well, I can't center, but I can center left and right. Okay, and shall we use those same gems again? They worked once, they can work twice, right? Okay. I'm gonna put this big guy up here because then we'll kind of cover that up. Yeah. This. A big broad arc. Does that look weird? Hmm. Yeah, I think that could work. Probably not my favorite place for the gems, but you know, they needed to do a little work and cover up that smudge that you probably couldn't see on camera, but I could see it in real life here. So anyway, we'll set him aside. Anyway, there we go. So two cards. Good for teenage boys, good for football fans. Um, Male or female, doesn't matter. Anybody can be a football fan. And a little bit of technique that we snuck in there today with the reverse image stamping. So here's what the image is, and there's what we got. If you are going to do the reverse image stamping, though, good idea to do it first, because you can kind of get it on the cardstock where you want, and then you can orient your other um, straight on stamping because you can see what the heck it is you're doing. What a concept, eh? See what you're doing. Yes. I don't know. There's not as much adventure in all that, right? So that's why we shouldn't be doing that because this is supposed to be an adventure. Yes, there we go. Alrighty. Oh, Terry has said something. Let me just lean in down here and see what Terry has said. Oh, great cards. Oh, I'm so glad you like the cards, Terry. Thank you so much for that. And I think two different ways to do it. And then, as I said, you can color it with your blends or watercolor pencils if you want to color in the football player. Team colors, it's always a popular choice, right? So however you add the color, make it your team colors, and that'll that'll hit home with somebody. You just have to find the right team. But that's what I have for you today. The stamp set again is called Football Fan, and it is available online right now. You can find it. So check it out. And while you're there, don't forget to check out the Designer Series paper and cardstock sale and the refreshed last chance list. Lots of good discounted products in there this time around, too. So that's what I have for you today. I will be back on Thursday for Connie's Craft Along at 4 p.m. Eastern. I hope you'll be able to join me then. And I look forward to crafting with you again really soon. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.